Well, hi everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm back. And we are about to enjoy our Yin Yoga practice. Today, I recommend that you have a strap. Keep your strap nearby as we make our way onto the floor. Keep your block nearby. We're starting in child's pose. You might find that you even want your block as we get started, in case you don't like having your head all the way down on the floor. Just standing up to make sure everything's stringing properly. And then I will meet you on your mat in your child's pose. Feel free to open your knees as wide as you want. Bringing your toes together, sending your glutes back towards your heels, and start to sink into your breath. We've got about 2 more minutes that we're going to enjoy right here. It's a wonderful time to set an intention for your practice if you would like to do so. Check in with your shoulders and upper back. Use your inhale. Just notice how and where your body is feeling any stress, tension, maybe a little tired today, and just notice it on your inhale. And your exhale, try to let go. Let go of your physical and mental blocks. Setting an intention for your practice is a great way to bring your focus back to something positive, affirmations, positive statements that help us to challenge and overcome when you're not feeling good or have negative thoughts. Such positive affirmations or intentions might be, there's no one better to be than myself. Today is going to be an amazing day. I deserve to be happy. I get better every single day. And anytime throughout this practice that you find that you're focusing back on your stress or you're distracted, tune back into your breath, simply counting the length of your inhale, working to create a slightly longer exhale can already begin to make you feel more relaxed and present in the moment. Last few breaths here in your starting child's pose. And if you have a block under your head, you might need to move it a little bit as you begin to shift your hips all the way to the left. Go ahead, walk your hands over to the right as much as feels good. Maybe your left hand even comes on top of the right hand. Really breathe big into your left side body. Feel your ribs expand. We're going to take in 2 honest minutes over here, stretching and reaching to the right and shifting hips to the right. So if your shoulders hurt at all, remember you can always take a generous bend of your elbows. Forearms can come down to the ground. And come back to using your inhale to scan your body and notice where you're feeling tension. We typically tend to hold our stress and tension in the same spot, but it's different for everyone. So maybe you furrow your brow, or you purse your lips, or your shoulders creep up towards your ears like earrings. And just start to notice wherever it is that you create that extra tension. Make sure you're not holding your breath. We got 1 minute to go. Last full cycle of breath, shifting your hips to the left. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands back to center, bring your hips back to center, and then take your time, walk your hands over to the left and start to shift your hips to the right. Maybe your right hand comes on top of your left hand. Maybe that doesn't feel right on this side because both sides of the body are different. But create as big of a stretch as you can from your hips to your shoulders, from your shoulders to your fingers. Remember, you can release your forearms to the ground. You can relax your head on the ground or your block. We've got just under 2 minutes to go on this side. Back to your long, slow, deep breaths. Last few breaths over here. Can you shift your hips a little bit more to the right? Maybe emphasize the stretch if it feels good. And then as you're ready, gently coming out, bringing your hands back to center, shifting your hips back to center. Go ahead, press yourself up into tabletop. Spread your fingers nice and wide like a starfish. And we get 1 minute of cat-cow. We're going to come back to this cat-cow in a little bit, so we will, in total, end up enjoying 2 minutes. If you find any spots that feel really sticky or tense and you want to hang out there for a couple extra breaths, do what feels right for you. This is your practice. It's not perfect. Every day is different. Each side of the body is different. Just enjoying wherever your breath takes you today. Fred, very pretty. All right. We're going for a hip opener today. You might find you need to fold your mat over and bring a little extra cushion under your back knee. Otherwise, from here, you can lift yourself up. And let's go ahead and bring that right foot forward. You can bring your right foot forward as much as you want. So maybe you're starting off right here, just in a 90 degree angle. Press your right heel down to the floor and energetically drag it back towards the center line of your body for a little bit more of a stretch in your left hip and in your right glute. Even the hamstring feels a little activated. And if you want, you can take a little bit of a twist right here, twisting towards your extended right leg. Option to come a little deeper into this twist for your last minute. You can reach your right hand back behind you, thumb facing up towards the ceiling. Bend your left knee and grab hold of your left. As you bring your heel towards your glute, a little bit more of a stretch in your left quad. We've got 1 minute here where you can always release back down, maybe simply enjoy the twist. Maybe you're just enjoying your hip opener. Make sure that you're not in a stretch that's so deep that your breath is limited. Let's take 2 more slow ones here. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving, so find one spot to relax your eyes or close them. Last big inhale. And if you grab hold of your right foot behind you, carefully release it. Turn back towards the front. Let's bring hands down to the floor again. Right leg wiggles back next to your left, and we come back into cat. Maybe you do a little something differently for this cat cow than last time, but you don't have to. It can look exactly the same. Finish out your current cycle of breath. Find your neutral tabletop once again. Once you're there, we're going to bring the left foot forward. Your hands can be on the floor. Remember, you can bring that left leg further forward if you want, but you can simply be right here in 90 degrees as well. Energetically pushing your left heel down towards the floor and dragging it back and pressing your right glute and hip forward. If you want, you can start to add in that twist, turning towards your left thigh. That little squeeze of your right glute is going to help you find your stability. Remember, if eyes are moving, mind is moving, so find one spot, relax your eyes, tune back into your breath. Let's take one more big one here. And then if you want to get that extra quad stretch, reaching your left hand back, thumb facing up towards the ceiling, bending your right knee, and bringing your hand and your foot together. Still that squeeze of the glute, drive of the right hip forward, awesome twist and opening of the shoulders. Continue to energetically press down through your left heel and pull it back towards the center line. Whoop. You lifted your right foot. Use your next exhale to release it back down towards the floor. Turn back towards the front. Let's bring both fingers down to the floor. Grab hold of your strap. Hopefully it is close by. Tuck your right toes under. Lift your right knee up off of the mat and step your 2 feet together. Once they're side by side, about hips width distance apart, you can inhale into a nice big half lift. Exhale down to your forward fold. And then inhale with that strap in your hands, root to rise, shoulders stack over hips, over heels, down and back. Stretch your fingers down towards the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, proud lift of your chest, little squeeze of your glutes, hips drive forward. Just taking a moment, decompressing our shoulders in a proud mountain pose. Come back to your intention for today's practice and inhale, breathe it into your mind and your heart and your soul. And exhale, let go of all the thoughts and feelings that don't serve you. We got one more minute right here. Continue to proudly lift through your chest. One more nice big inhale. Stretch up through the crown of your head. And exhale, let go. You can release that tension that you're feeling. All right, we're going to use the strap. Go ahead, hold your strap in your right foot, and then behind your body, we're going to step on the strap with the left foot. Maybe the left heel is touching down on your strap. With the right palm facing the back of the room, start to walk your fingers down the strap. We're going to create a little bit of tension, and then you're going to bend your elbow and bring the back of your right knuckle to your left hip. All right, feet are about shoulder width distance apart, side by side. Keep stretching your elbow down toward the floor. That same proud, energetic lift of the chest that we enjoyed a moment ago in mountain pose. Tuck your chin to your chest and then slowly begin to bring your right ear to your shoulder. You're going to start to feel a nice big stretch, especially if you're stretching your elbow towards the floor in your upper back neck. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, take a gentle bend of your right knee. And try not to let your chest collapse towards the floor so that right shoulder is actually energetically drawing back and that right elbow is still energetically stretching down. To really slow your breath down here, we got 1 minute to go. One more long, slow, deep inhale. And on your exhale, bring your chin back down to your chest. If you bent your right leg, straighten your right leg. And then relax, release your right hand down. Let's go ahead, gently switch the strap into your left hand. Find some pressure and tension by stepping, pardon me, on the strap with your right foot. This time, back of the palm, left palm faces the wall behind you. Thumb is towards the floor or your body. And you're gonna find some tension in your strap as you bring your bent left elbow towards your right crease. Stretch your elbow energetically down towards the floor. Find your proud lift of your chest. Take a big inhale, stretch up through the crown of your head, and exhale, release your chin to your chest. Slowly bring your right ear to your right shoulder. If you need a little bit more tension, find that bend in your left knee as you shift your hips to the left. Otherwise, we've got just over a minute to go right here. Still energetically drawing your left shoulder back, your right ear to your right shoulder. Last few breaths. If you brought a bend to your right leg, go ahead, your left leg. Straighten your left leg out. Bring your chin back down towards your chest. And inhale, lift your head up, relax your left hand down. Strap can come to the side. Hopefully your block is nearby. We've got a dangle and a squat coming up. So go ahead, inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Draw your belly in, protect your back, and exhale, rain or swan dive down towards the floor. Inhale up into a half lift, find your flat back, and then exhale down to your forward fold. As you exhale down, you can generously bend your knees, and I encourage you to generously bend those knees. Lots of weight starts in your heel, pardon me, belly on your thighs. Relax your head and hairline down towards the floor. Keep your belly on your thighs. So maybe you still have a really generous bend to your knees, and your hands are on your block, or maybe two blocks. Maybe you're ready for a little bit more of a dangle, in which case you can start to shift some weight forward to your toes and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. The belly should still be touching on your thighs to protect your back. And then you can even still find that proud pull through of your chest like we enjoyed while we were standing. You might bring even more of your chest, ribs towards your thighs, a little bit more relaxation into your back. We got 2 minutes to go right here, so just find your stillness. If your hands are all the way to the floor and you want a nice little massage of your hands' palms, you can even slide your hands underneath of your feet, palms facing up towards your feet, toes coming all the way towards your wrists for a little gorilla pose. I will still encourage you to draw shoulders away from your ears and breathe. Final minute to go. Where can you soften a little bit more on your exhales? If you were enjoying gorilla pose and you had your hands under your feet, slowly, carefully remove your hands from under your feet. Let's go ahead, inhale up into a half lift, belly drawn in, flat spine, and heel toe your feet out wider, match width distance apart, heels in, toes out, and then slowly start to lower yourself down. You can take your block and transfer it, and then sit on your block towards the back of the mat. Great way to help relax, release the heels down to the floor and find a big lift in your chest. We've got 2 minutes to go right here in our squat. One more big inhale. And on your exhale, you can release your hands back down towards the mat. Shift weight to your toes. Lift your hips up. Move your block to the side. Walk your feet towards the back of the mat. Hips up towards the high sky, nice and high, in down dog. And then we're going to draw the right leg forward. You might want to take a nice three-legged dog and lift your right leg all the way up. Enjoy a big stretch. And then shift weight forward. Shoulders come on top of hands, palms. Right elbow and knee come towards each other. Right toe comes to the left side of the mat. Lower yourself down. We're making our way into pigeon. Walk your left leg back behind you, and we're trying to get the left thigh, left hip crease towards the floor. So your right glute should be floating. You can stay lifted here if you want, energetically dragging your right hip back and your left hip forward, or you can relax and release yourself down to the floor. We got 2 minutes to go right here. If you want to take rounding in your back, I'm not going to stop you, but I personally like to draw elbows towards the hips. It helps you to roll a little bit more onto that left leg, and perhaps you take your block and you relax your head on it if the floor feels far away. Back to your breath. Nice, slow, and steady. Keep thinking of your left hip sinking a little closer to your mat space. Final minute, can you energetically continue to draw your right hip back, left hip down and forward? If you lowered yourself down to the floor, take your time. Press yourself back up. Now we are going to shift weight onto the right glute and bend the left leg so that the sole of the right foot comes to the left thigh. And you're going to fold your left leg in so that the sole of the left foot is hugging your right glute. And then do your best to sit your left glute down to the floor. It most likely might not touch, and that's okay. For our first minute, we're actually going to turn towards the right side. So your right hand fingers might come close by your hip and your left hand come onto your right thigh. Do your best though on every exhale, instead of emphasizing left glute lifted, think towards left glute getting a little heavier towards the mat. And you can really rotate your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades, drawing your right shoulder back, left shoulder forward as much as you would like. On your next inhale, find length through the crown of your head. And on your exhale, turn, twist in the opposite direction. So now your left hand is coming maybe to your right foot or left foot or just outside of it. Right hand, if you want a really deep twist, is coming to the outside of the left knee, or just simply staying pressing towards the inside of the right knee. I am so sorry for how loud things are outside right this moment. And let's just breathe through it. One more big inhale. Bring your hands behind you. Send your knees up towards the ceiling. Soles of the feet plant firmly on the floor. And just windshield wipe your legs right and left, right and left. From here, bring your left foot to the right side of the mat. Drop your left knee down. Let's start off opposite with deer pose. So sole of the left foot comes to the right thigh bicep, and you're bringing that right foot in, laces down. So you're making a little like half bowl shape for your glutes to sit, and then exhale, just working to bring that glute to the floor. Take one more big breath. Inhale, lift your chest and from the crown of your head, and exhale, let's twist towards the left leg. Shoulders away from your ears, elbows heavy towards the floor. Right glute continues to be heavy, coming towards the mat. Take a nice big inhale, lift yourself up, and then exhale, let's turn twist in the opposite direction. Right hand comes by your right foot, left hand either comes to the left knee or for that deeper twist towards the right knee. Find how much you can lift your chest. So if reaching towards the right leg, got a lot of rounding through your back and you lost out on a lot of that stretch and twist, or maybe it brought the exact stretch that your body needed. Do what feels right for you. We got just under a minute to go. One more big breath here. Find your inhale, lift, and on your exhale, turn towards that left leg. Maybe you even shimmy your left shin more in line with the top of the mat. Hands come in front of you, and let's send that right leg back behind you. Look over your shoulder. Make sure that right leg is in line. Draw your left hip back. You can stay nice and lifted right here if you would like, or you can begin to lower yourself down. I'm running out of space here a little bit. That's okay. Just a moment, move myself. We've got just about 2 minutes to go right here in our last pigeon pose. Last minute to go. Keep working to energetically bring your right hip forward and your left hip back, trying to get your two hips in line. It's going to emphasize the stretch. Take a few more deep breaths. We're almost there. If you lowered yourself down towards the floor, take your time, slowly lift yourself back up. Let's shift the weight once again into the left glute, and we're going to send both legs out in front of us. Once they're there, lower yourself down onto your back. Keep your block nearby. Once your spine touches down to the mat, we're going to enjoy some knees to chest pose. So draw your knees up towards your chest, stretch your elbows down towards your hips, back of the head on the mat. And if you want to make a couple circles in one direction with your knees, massaging your low back, and then a couple circles in the opposite direction with your knees. And then take a couple breaths in stillness, whether you're squeezing your knees in towards each other and drawing them in towards your belly, which knees together and pressing in can help to stimulate digestion, or maybe you're just stretching your hips, allowing your knees to be separate. Maybe the outer edges of your shoulders are touching down towards the floor. Give yourself that double, triple chin here. Press the back of your head into the mat. Press your chin towards your chest, working your deep neck cervical flexors. Take one more big inhale. And on your exhale, slowly release the soles of the feet back down to the floor. Go ahead, grab your block. Use your inhale to lift your low back up and slide your block to your low back, right in that sacrum that we were just massaging. Whether your block is high or low, it's totally your choice. And you can stay right here with your feet firmly planted below your knees, or you can start to walk, wiggle your feet out further away from you. The further your legs go, the more of a stretch you're going to feel in your low belly. And if you want more for your arms, you can inhale your arms up overhead. Maybe arms are straight behind you. Maybe you grab hold of your opposite elbow. Maybe you bring a stretch to your chest by bending your elbows like a goalpost, or even arms out nice and wide. Find what feels right for you, and let's enjoy this as our final asana before Savasana, a nice long supported glute bridge. Find that spot on the ceiling to relax your eyes, relax your breath, and your mind. Back to the positive intention or affirmation you were reflecting upon. And if you didn't choose one at the beginning, it's still never too late, because there is still no one better to be than yourself. Today is going to be an amazing day. Anything is possible, and you get better every single day simply by showing up for yourself, tuning into your breath, creating this time for your physical and mental health and wellness. And yes, some days are much easier to show up and create this you time. Whether you're joining me for 5 minutes or 45 minutes, whether you're simply sitting at your desk and you close your eyes and you take 3 deep breaths. Tuning in towards yourself, using your breath to help relax, release, let go of all of the tension is something we can do whether we're on our mats or simply need a little relaxation. You're welcome to stay here in this supported glute bridge for a little bit longer, but encourage you to take a final savasana before you end your practice. If time is of the essence and you're limiting yourself to 45 minutes, let's make our way to final savasana now. If your arms were up overhead, return your arms down by your side. Use them to support you to walk your legs in if you walked your legs further away. Once the soles of the feet come back down underneath of your knees, press into them, draw your belly in, use your inhale, lift yourself up off of your block, and then one vertebrae at a time, melt your spine down your mat. You can even keep your knees bent and tent them in towards each other, or go ahead, extend your legs out nice and long, heels can touch, toes can fall open. Traditionally, arms are by your side and everything is very narrow on your mat. However, if you would like to open your legs wider, open your arms wider, I encourage you to do so. Whenever you make it to your final savasana, I want you to think of a number between like 5 and 20. Great. Can you take that many breaths without moving before you end your practice? Let's get started on them right now. Continue to enjoy a long, slow, deep inhale in through your nose, and on your exhale, as before, letting go of thoughts, feelings, tension that does not serve us. We're going to close out today's practice on the mat. So on your next inhale, come back to your positive intention or one positive thing that you can be proud of yourself for doing today, this week, this month, something coming up this weekend. Until we are together again, I hope that you are able to think of endless positive thoughts, that you'll find and create time every day to speak good words to yourself, to others, to nourish yourself from the inside out. Taking and creating time to speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds, so we can be our best selves. And if anyone else is celebrating Rosh Hashanah, I hope that you enjoy some apples and honey. And even if you're not, it's a great time in the fall to enjoy some. And may we all just have the sweetest new year. Thank you all so much for coming and sharing your energy and taking part of mine. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.